I've seen them, read the book, saw the movie, maybe a tape or DVD. But the idea is you've got to have some basic put away, what I call put away killer shots. Now you see somebody, if you don't have something that every time you do it, it's going to get a result, it's going to force a result. You've got to have that in your arsenal. So the first one we're going to cover is what Mark would call the Caveman, or the forehand downward diagonal. And basically, when we're squaring off, you watch a lot, it's going to be lead flip. If you're right-handed, obviously in your right hand, you can, there are times when you do switch, but for this drill, all we're going to do is your opponent's in front of you, and you're just going to go boom, strike like that. And when you swing, it's not out like that. I'm trying to cut a diagonal. So if I here, like so, because this is kind of another shot. The tendency, and the reason you train this way, the tendency is when the heat is happening, people, instead of doing the nice, clean form, it starts doing this. You'll see it all the time, especially when the pressure's on, the guys think you gotta start to do this. So you want to keep your technique tight, so when it comes down, you're cutting through, pulling through, and then just catching in the back there. So your next shot, after that, will be like so.
So allow me to interject here, just like I did on the first tape. I was talking about the difference between the diagonal of the X and the hourglass.
Okay, so for those of you who are not familiar with this point, think in terms of is the body mechanic in alignment with gravity? The way most of us throw a ball, we are in alignment with gravity. We're not coming across at a diagonal. We're not on the body mechanics of the baseball swing, the baseball bat, the horizontal. This is a vertical strike. So your hand should be staying very close to your hip as it comes down on both the forehand and the backhand. If on my backhand I'm coming like this in your space, I'm probably on the diagonal. I want to be coming alongside the body. You want to be coming alongside the body on this stroke. Notice this detail about what he's doing.
So when you're training, that's a lot of times, and I'll be honest with you, a lot of, like Mark said, this, and Benjamin knows himself, this gets to be lonely. The further up you go, the fewer and fewer training partners you have. So just as a point of advice, if you have a good training partner, really, really appreciate it, because it's hard to come by. In time, you get, it's not like you'll have it forever. That's the thing that, at a certain age, you think, oh, I'm going to have this for years. No, it's this much, and then gap. This much, you find something else, and then, desert. You're training by yourself again. And so that's what you're going to have to just understand. It's a journey you're going to make by yourself with someone at times when your paths do join. But a lot of times it's going to be alone. So when you do this by yourself, it's going to be just striking like so, and when you come in, all I want you to do for this particular shot, I'm going to walk around and watch. All I want you to do is just to visualize your partner, make sure you're hitting that body. Ideally, you're trying to go to the top of the head on one side and cut through this quadrant like so. Now, in a fight situation, sometimes you do adjust it. But for training purposes, what you want to get is to get the habit of having it cut straight down like so. And I catch it here in the back just for restraint purposes. In a fight situation, what you'll probably end up doing is, coming and then back up like so, or back up and all through like so. But normally, for just the training purpose, I would just emphasize that, pull it through like so. Catch it with your left hand. If you're right-handed, right-handed. Anybody who's left-handed? Technically,
I'd be the weirdo.
You're left-handed? Great. Anyone else? This one? Okay.
I'll do it right-handed.
Well, do it left-handed. Well, yeah, okay. I'm glad you brought that up. And the other thing is make your strength strong. Everybody's got a strong suit. Make it strong. That's why you've got to have put-away shots. Make your strength strong. Don't try and become this diversified whatever. Be strong in something really, really definitive first. Then the other stuff follows. Because if you don't survive, you don't get to diversify. So make sure that you have your strength strong first. Now, when you lean into it, you can lean in. A lot of times, do I reach? Do I go back? The answer is yes. You do both. When you do, I'm just warming up. I'll do 12 strokes, and sometimes I'll lean in. Sometimes I'll skip back. Just depends on what the scenario. Because remember, fighting is very dynamic. Things change all the time. And as they should, and it's up to you to adjust. But it's up to you also to have some stuff in your toolkit to control the action. If you can't control the action in any way, shape, or form, don't fight. Or get out, one of the two. If you can control, power allows you to control lots of stuff, and this is one of them. For example, here, Brian here is obviously very good at ground. So he knows he's going to be outgunned with a stick. Natural inclination is to close. So go in knowing that. Well, most people are going to try and close. If they're going to fight with you, chances of them knowing sticks to the level that you guys know, slim, possible, but slim. Most of them are going to try and close. So one of the reasons power started out is to keep, I can't stop it from closing, but I can, because, you know, he's an athlete, he'll close. What I can do is force him to deal with something. Most people, which if you see some of the fighting, a lot of times people with a stick, and the other guy didn't go, I like that, I have a great story on that later. He's going to close. So what would stop him from closing if I can't really, if he doesn't feel like he's going to get hurt at all? Nothing really. If he's better on the ground, I'm going to lose. So my point being is, whatever you have, make sure he has to deal with it. So if he sees you swinging and he doesn't block, I mean, you'll probably, your stick is like that, you're probably like, up, and everyone freezes for like that second. That's the time you close. So I see your stick going. Usually what I used to do, when somebody dropped their stick, is I would just put my foot on it. And so I couldn't, so I knew, come on, get it. You know, or I just put it like that. And then, you know, sometimes we're just like, okay. Other times it's, okay, let's do it. So I want to, this shot here is going to force you to block. If you don't block a power shot, and I'm aiming at your head, I'm probably going to take you out. I mean, some of us have harder heads than others. I kind of have a hard head, but I'll be honest with you, I don't like taking shots to the head. Contrary to popular opinion, my wife said otherwise. So when you come in, I'm forcing him to block. So if you're coming in, you can leave like that. So make sure whatever you hit him with takes that out. I can't stop him from closing. Probably can't. If he's a good athlete, trained, he's probably going to close. But I can take out something. He doesn't know, and frankly, I don't know either. He may lead with his right. He may lead with his left. A lot of people, you don't know. It just kind of depends where their feet are. Whatever it is gone. Whatever he led with is gone. There are other avenues too. So let's say he doesn't close right away, but wants to. So I have to force him to get, if I come like that down to the foot. That's what I'm going to try and do. Now, you ever been hitting the foot? You'll notice a lot of times when I do it, you'll see me do this a lot in the films and movies, and you'll see me do it today too. It's a habit that Piquete Tercia, I haven't seen it in any other style, really.
Well, the Illustrissimo flamenco influences it pulled straight back, but that's their particular solution to the question presented.
Yeah, but the idea is to get it out of the way. Yes. Is this or with this end?
Yes.
Yeah. And so you'll see a lot of the early guys, from where I came from, Piquete, they'll do this. Is you don't have a lot of weight on your front foot. I mean, there are times you can avoid it. For the most part, it's like, so I get this out of the way. So if he goes for my feet, everybody, I'm out the toe. So that's just I don't say a tick, but just a habit I recommend being aware of. So let's do our first strike. Grab your stick. Now come up, come around. So it's going to be like so. Just swing through like that, and I'm going to walk around and take a look. And then we'll do